Welcome to another free Friday webinar by American TESOL. They are free, so invite all your friends. I'm Shelly Carroll, and today we're going to talk about integrating effective online tasks with online audio tools. First, why we should use online audio tools and why we should have some sort of audio recording. I believe using audio is really important, especially in the English language classroom, because language is communication, and not only is it communication, it's complex. It's a very complex process and system. I like to use it with my 4-year-olds all the way to my adults. So I work with various ages in Germany, and I use audio tools with all those ages because it offers a great opportunity for the students to be able to record themselves or listen to other recordings of other students and to help them process the message. It also is a great way for them to see that they're improving their communication. This year I had a one-to-one, and the whole entire, all the sessions that we have been recordings of her because she really learned telephone English and the kind of conversations. So we've recorded every single conversation, and she's really been able to see from the very first one to the last one how much more comfortable she is speaking, how more fluent she is, how she remembers certain phrases that she wanted to learn, and how she easily incorporates them and things like that. So I think it's really exciting for students to be able to have their voices recorded, even though I know many people don't like that. It requires listening. A great deal of communication is listening, and sometimes our students don't know how to be effective listeners. So recordings and audio are another way to teach how to be great listeners. It is also creating meaning, which means the students, sometimes you'll come from mixed classes, mixed levels of proficiency, or various backgrounds. So students, depending on their experience, their language level, their cultural background, noise, things like that, will interpret different messages from each other quite differently. They will also, so they need to be able to practice this because it's a very complex process. Now, if you look at this slide, the words on this slide come from a famous song from a famous artist that birthday just passed recently. So can anybody guess what song this is? You'll get virtual chocolate. And if you see me in person, which you might, then you get real chocolate. Can anyone guess the song lyrics? And music is one of those things. Many of my students, the first way that I got introduced to audio tools was that I first started teaching in Texas. Now I'm in Germany. I started having the students listen to different podcasts, and I do list several podcasts in the wiki, which you'll see on the side. It's Technology for Kids, pdworks.com/audio tools, and I'll share that right now. The song is from John Lennon, and it's called Across the Universe. Well, the students really enjoyed listening to different types of music, so we also shared those kind of lessons as well. It's very motivating for students to be able to share their stories online with people all over the world. There's also huge amounts of people online, English language learners in communities such as Box of Pops, which is one of the tools that we'll talk about, where they converse in daily form and they do corrections and things like that. So these tools are free and they're very powerful for your students and motivating for your students to go outside of the class and to practice the language. In Germany, I have the problem that most of my students, they want to speak in the class for long periods of time because outside of the class, they really don't get the opportunity to practice English. They speak German only when they have to speak English. That's when they speak it. So for me, I think it's really important that they're able to practice outside of the class. and they really enjoy it as well. All the tools that I suggest are on a wiki. Wiki is the web page, a free website for teachers that you can use with your students. Add different things, you can add links, like that. So all of these are optional, but most of my students do optional audio tasks that I provide for them. There are different ways that you can do this. You can do this as an individual, which happens quite a lot if they're doing it outside of the classroom or if it's a one-to-one. But you can also do this in pairs. I'll show you an example of two of my younger students doing a class interview in groups. If you don't have a lot of technology like I don't, I have one little small computer and I have my iPhone. So that's about it for my classes. My classes don't get bigger usually than 10, so that's not too much of a problem, but we're able to share and do things in groups. Or as an entire class, you can sing a song together, you can do karaoke, like I know Greta's class, Austin does karaoke Fridays. And David Dubel also has some great information about doing karaoke. Then you can share it online, and they can bring this to a wider audience, and kids really do love doing that. So some of the things you might need, you can set up a very small podcast station to manage this. I have one of those in my classes. I really believe in stations, so that way when students finish their work at different times, that they can go and they can go make the podcast if that's what they want to do. So this is one way that you can manage not having a computer for every single student, or not having to go to a lab room with computers all the time. You can also have where you let the students check out maybe different recorders. It doesn't have to be an iPod or a smartphone or anything like that, but there are certain recorders that sometimes your school will have, and the kids can check those out if they don't have the means to record themselves. Okay. So some of the software, just to tell you, because most of you probably know these already. On a Mac, you can have GarageBand. This is software that's on your computer. It's offline. And Audacity is another one for the PC. Both of them are free software programs that, well, Audacity doesn't come on your computer, but you can download it. You can find that on the wiki. So now what I want to do is I want to show you a video. And this is going to show you some of the students that I have working with different types of audio tasks, and then we can see how they enjoy it and how they use it. Now these are all language learners, so go ahead and make that bigger. Hopefully it comes out fine for you. First, you're going to see interviews with them of why to use technology for students. And it's going to mention many of the tools that I want to show you. There's tons of them. Okay, so here we go.